What's going on, lords and ladies? Gimpy Fresh here, bringing you a tips and tricks video on Apex Legends. Now I know there's about a million of these already on YouTube, but I believe most of those that I've seen cover how to get started into Apex Legends. I was hoping to bring a tips and tricks video to you for people who already enjoy the game. You've been playing for a week, can't get enough of it, and maybe need a little help taking that next step, or just finding out a few things you don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and break down a few little things that I've figured out, and let me preface this by saying I have in no way done an extensive amount of research. I've been playing since Tuesday, and these are just things that I've figured out that I think could help a few of y'all get a little better and or learn a little more about the game. So let's go ahead and jump right into that next clip, and we'll get started on our first tip. So tip number one is Jump Master. In every game, a Jump Master is randomly chosen and usually picks third during character selection. The Jump Master controls where all three party members land if the other party members are so, willing to stay with you. You can break off solo, but most people try to stay with you all the way up until the end. Now, a lot of people pass the mantle of Jump Master off when they're chosen because they're not confident with how far they can get on the map. And I'll admit, if you think just jumping out of the airplane, going down, and leveling out once is going to get you all the way across the map, like in PUBG or Fortnite or Blackout, that's not the case. There's a different mechanic in this game that consists of diving down and leveling back out multiple times throughout a jump to achieve the furthest distance. There's an speedometer and an altimeter on either side of your screen to let you know how to do this. So I'm going to run that clip back and kind of talk you through what numbers to look out for and how to properly do it. So like the other Battle Royale games, you do want to start with an initial dive. Doesn't have to be too long, just enough to get you in the 140s on your speedometer on the left. Don't even worry about the altimeter, it's not important. So I chose relay, and I like to look past my target when I'm leveling out. And I'll watch that speedometer drop down to about 130. When it hits 130, we do another dive down to build up speed. Not long, just enough to get you back into the 140, 142 range, and then you level out again looking past your target. I've had a lot of success making further jumps and not having to land with everyone right on my tail. Maybe you guys can give this a try and tweak with a little bit, find your own speed, but for me it's dive at 130 and level back out in the 140s. And if you guys find anything better, let me know in the comments because I'd be curious. This is just play testing, really. So tip number two is a multi-part hint/discussion for looting and looting etiquette in Apex. First issue that I've seen myself run into multiple times is limited backpack space. Unless you find a purple or a blue backpack early game, you're going to be missing out on some loot space and you're not going to be able to pick up everything you want. So first tip I can give here is to know your own playstyle. If you find yourself running out of ammo every game, but you have a lot of shield cells, or you don't throw all your grenades, or whatever it may be, you may want to drop off picking so many grenades up and just focus on picking more ammo up so you can keep shooting. Or if you find yourself running out of heals every game, maybe don't pick up that extra 100 shotgun rounds that you're never going to fire. Just kind of pay attention to your playstyle and pay attention to what you're not using in your inventory because each slot is so important. Another looting tip that I can give is looting etiquette tip, I guess, would be try not to loot on top of your teammates. When you're both dropped in an early area, obviously you want to stay close to each other, but you both don't want to be looting right on top of each other because most chances one person's going to get the loot and the other one isn't, and that can be frustrating. A hint for etiquette/being a good teammate here would be loot for your teammates. Here in this clip, I'm dropping a Prowler select fire and pinging both to let the guys know, hey, if you want these two items, they're up here. And I pick up an extended blue mag here in a second and realize that I don't need it for either one of my guns, but that's something that I look for every time I'm using a light weapon. So instead of just pinging it up here in the back corner of the map, I attempt to bring it out, drop it on the ground, and ping it for my teammate. That's just something to think about to help your teammates get what they need faster, because if they can help you in a gunfight, you guys are going to be all the more prepared. And as you can see, I'm dropping items I don't need and that I just picked up quickly to keep moving out of my inventory to create more space. Now, the biggest etiquette tip that I can give you, and that I think everybody needs to start focusing on, is if you are in a team and one of your guys die and you bring him back and he can get back to his loot box, do not go through your teammate's loot box. He spent all game fighting and grinding and looting to pick that stuff up. Here in this clip, our teammate takes Demo's legendary armor out of his box, and we had just won the gunfight and picked Demo back up, and now we're frustrated because the legendary armor he killed or took from one of his kills is now sitting on this guy who doesn't deserve it and is rude for taking it. So we behave poorly, I guess, but we bash him and shoot him and toss stuff at him. It doesn't do any damage, but he immediately drops the dang armor that he should never have picked up because he knew what he did wrong. I mean, be a good teammate. Don't do snaky stuff like this. It's just poor. Poor behavior, poor etiquette. Now on to tip number 3, the request ping. If you've played around with the pinging system at all, it's pretty awesome and something that you wish was in every Battle Royale game once you use it once. It's too good. Now, if you go into your inventory, you can actually scroll over just about every slot, and if you don't have it or you need it, you can ping the slot inside your inventory. That goes for ammo, attachments, armor, helmet, anything you need. You can go into your inventory and ping that you need that item. And if your teammates are good and are paying attention, then they'll be able to drop it for you. Play around with that. Try not to forget that because it definitely comes in handy when you're playing with people who don't have mics, which is all too common, as I've said before. This tip I'm going to call Select Fire because several different guns in this game have different modes of fire. And when I first started to play, I really did not like certain guns like the Hemlock or the Flatline or the Prowler. Coincidentally, all heavy ammo weapons. But I did not like these guns because I didn't like the burst on the Hemlock. I was always missing too many shots and burning through my ammo so quick. And the Flatline is a low-clip automatic weapon if it's early game. So I was running out of ammo and not finishing people and having to reload too many times in fights. But once I figured out that the Hemlock and the Flatline both can be changed to single fire, in a lot of mid to long range situations, I started to play a lot better and have a lot better results with my kills and damage downrange. So if you look down at the bottom right hand corner of your HUD, the picture of your gun, underneath it will give you an indicator on whether or not it's automatic or 3-shot burst or single fire. And the guns that I mentioned, as well as a few others like the R301 and I believe the R99, have different rates of fire that you can choose from. So you might want to play around with this and see if certain guns don't jump out at you. If you ever find the Prowler with the Select Fire, it turns it into an automatic and it becomes a much better weapon than when it is burst, in my opinion. So play around with these and see if you can find any guns that you might have hated at first and now you really enjoy. For me, it's the Hemlock. So my final tip would be, don't be a hero. In Apex Legends, you have a very unique ability to revive a fallen teammate. This mechanic is not available in any other Battle Royale game that I've ever played. Now, in most Battle Royales, if a teammate goes down and you can't pick them back up, you're done for the game, or they are done for the game. You're alone now, and you have to try to clutch in a tough situation. Not impossible, but also not ideal. So in Apex Legends, you are offered this opportunity to not rush into your death trying to pick up a downed teammate because there is that second chance ability where you can take their banners and run them to a respawn post and revive them. Now I have one banner to pick up and one teammate to revive. This team makes the mistake of attempting to pick up his team in a bad situation. And here are the repercussions. Punched to death like a big dumb idiot. Now, he was too focused on trying to pick up his teammate in the corner and got killed for it. Now, this is just something to think about in your games and in your situations that you get in. When is it important to pick up a teammate and when is it not? Obviously, you want to be a good teammate, and obviously you don't want to be alone. But if you can win the gunfight or win the battle and then pick your teammate up, it's probably going to be better than, running right to your death. I come and pick this Gibraltar up so that he can pop his shield over the respawn point that I was getting shot at so we can get our teammate back. That's a very unique situation in this Battle Royale game with the different classes and the different abilities. Offers some interesting situations to get yourself in with respawning and picking up fallen teammates. So keep this in mind as you go through your travels.
I gotta pick you up. There's people here already. Yeah, I'm dead. Nice!
Currently, those are all the tips and tricks I have for you, lords and ladies. I don't claim to know everything. I've only been playing for about a week, and these are just a few things that I picked up, hoping that they might help you, enjoy your gaming session a little bit more. If none of these were helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If they were very helpful, feel free to leave a comment. As this is my first attempt at a tips and tricks video, I would be really appreciative of any feedback. And if you like these videos and think you want some more, let me know, and I will try to make more, maybe on the characters themselves. I'll let this video play out, and you can see how it ends. Have a good one.
There they are. Yeah, here they are.
I downed an enemy.
Where's the last one? Oh, I see. That's 3 shots in a row. They're 1 shot over there. That's 4 shots in a row. They're dead.
Good job. What were you shooting?
The ultimate sniper, the legendary. I went and picked it up.
Nice.
4 shots in a row, moving targets, drilled them all.